Good morning, all. So today we'll be doing midship sections of combination carriers. So combination carriers are OBO and OO. OBO means oil bulk ore, and OO is ore oil carriers. Now this is a general bulk carrier which has got hopper tanks and DB. And in ore carrier, like if you see ore oil carrier, you have oil here in the wing tanks and the hold center hold is having ore. So they are being carried in the same voyage, not in different voyages. Now, normal ore carrier will have a water ballast tank in the wing tanks, and the center hold will have ore. But in ore oil carrier, the wing tanks will have oil. So a typical OBO or oil bulk ore will have a center tank having ore and wing tanks having oil. So this is the midship section of an OBO where you have the collar plate here, the transverse members here, the longitudinals here. Now this is longitudinally framed because these are pretty long. So they'll have longitudinals on the sides, on the deck, in the bottom, the longitudinals are there. That's the tank top, and then you have the center girder and the plate floor. You will have the stringers, you can have the platforms inside this space here. Here you have oil. Now, the hybrid bulk carrier designs have been developed to carry oil, dry bulk cargo, and ores in a single voyage. So, the midship section of ore oil carrier, the ship is transversely divided into various sections. The section where the at the center is used for carrying iron ore, and the tanks at the sides are carrying oil. Now, the thing is, iron ore has got high density compared to lot of other cargoes like coal and all. So due to this, your weight to volume ratio of ore is much higher than the dry bulk cargo. So that means the storage factor of iron ore is quite high as compared to the other cargoes. Hence, the placing the iron ore hold at a low position would lower the vertical center of gravity, which will make your vessel too stiff, and that will cause a large GM. The large GM will create a lot of rolling, very violent rolling, which will cause motion sickness to crew. Naval vessels also have got large GMs, but they also roll violently. But naval people are accustomed to that kind of rolling. But our seafarers might not be accustomed to that kind of rolling. Oil bulk ore carriers or obo vessels have got double skin with stiffening with narrow wing tanks. Transverse bulkheads are of cofferdam type, where stiffening is there on the inside. Now there is a rise and floor on the inner bottom. Now rise of floor is which you've done in second mates. It's also known as dead rise. That is your upward curvature of the bottom plating in the transverse direction. So that is the rise of floor, which you've seen. Just explain what is rise of floor. Now this is a flat bottom ship. Suppose the bottom is flat. When you're going to river passages, certain ships have got flat bottom. Certain ships have got rise of floor. Now, what is rise of floor is? So this is your floor. So this is known as rise of floor. Now I just erase the sides now. So this is known as rise of floor, where you have an angle at from the horizontal. This angle is known as rise of floor. So this angle is rise of floor. Now this is to facilitate drainage at the center line. Now suppose you have a rise of floor. That's the center line. So any water and all will be drained to the center, and here you have those bilge wells where it will be pumped out. So that is the reason of rise of floor. So the draining of water. So rise of floor at the inner bottom facilitates drainage to drain recesses or wells, bilge wells which are arranged on the center line. Hatch covers are McGregor type and they are side rolling. So McGregor hatches are two types. One is fore and aft opening and one is side opening. So here you have side opening hatches and the hatch breadth will be approximately 50% of the beam. Your hydraulic operation with automatic battening down. Now here you have automatic battening down. You don't have to do manual battening down of the cleats. The moment the hatch covers are closed, you can do automatic battening down with hydraulics. So that is the feature in this oboe vessel. Now if you compare your oboe vessel with a bulk carrier, they have lesser dead weight of similar dimensions. Plus your oboe carrier can switch from dry to liquid cargoes. Now these oboe carriers will be fitted with IG because they have oil in the wing tanks. So the IG will be there. They'll have tank cleaning machines. But these tank cleaning machines will be portable and not fixed like you have in tankers. The hoses will be flexible and they'll not be fixed pipelines. So the oboe construction is similar to bulk carrier except that the wing tanks are larger, the DB tanks are deeper so that you have better stability when you're carrying over cargoes. And the void spaces are there between your transverse bulkhead and different holes. So other bulk carriers you don't have void spaces so much. So the other features of oboes are these were the salient features of oboe. The other salient features are your hatch covers will not be weather tight, but they'll be oil tight because you're carrying liquid cargoes. You'll have dedicated slop tank because oil discharge monitoring and control system is required. So you require dedicated slop tank. Then you'll have a pump room for loading and discharging of liquid cargoes. You'll have IG system. You have a tank hold cleaning system, which is like crude oil washing system. Alleging system as in tankers. Pipeline system fitted through the duct keel. Now in tankers you don't have duct keel, but here you'll have a duct keel. So the pipelines like ballast, bilge and cargo lines will go through the duct keel. Bilge lines will be for the dry cargoes at the center tank and the center hold. So this is your oboe carrier and these are McGregor side rolling hatches. Then you have IG and all that fitted here. So why is the rise of floor or dead rise in oboe vessels? So facilitate drainage. Essential features we've already done. What kind of hatch covers are fitted here? So they'll be oil tight. Oboe is oil bulk ore. So that is your oboe. Now we will be doing chemical tanker and then I'll do your double hull carrier, a double hull oil tanker. Just show you a first photograph here. Now this is a chemical tanker which is type 2. And these tanks are pressure tanks or gravity tanks fitted there to carry X category cargoes. You've got three types. We'll be doing in detail what are the types of chemical tankers. We'll come back to the midship section here. Now in this midship section, if you see, all your underdeck longitudinals are on deck. Your underdeck girders are also on deck. So there are no projections inside the tank. That is a feature of chemical tanker. No projections inside the tank. Longitudinals inside your double hull, other longitudinals in your DB, and the remaining longitudinal under deck are on deck, and the girders are also on deck. The reason being, chemical tankers, they require extensive cleaning. Maybe you're loading methanol and other cargoes that require absolutely precision cleaning. That's why you have a wall wash test in chemical tankers for loading methanol before loading that. So even a hair or a small thread can fail the tank. So if your longitudinals were inside the tank, the old cargoes would have been sticking there, which you can't clean, and that might contaminate your cargoes. Normally, how do they check the contamination of cargoes? Is before loading, once you're loading, you just load 1 foot of uh, cargo loaded there in the tank, and then you'll stop for half an hour so that your static is dissipated, and then you will take sampling and then test that. If that sample will pass, only then you continue the loading, otherwise you'll stop loading. And whatever the cargo inside, that damages has to be paid by the ship owner, because he's contaminated the cargo due to non-cleaning or not better cleaning of the tanks and pipelines. So here you have longitudinals and double hull. You might have stringer plates also here. That's a stringer plate here. And the double bottom tank is longitudinally framed. So this tanker is longitudinally framed. Your longitudinals will be on the deck, girders will be on the deck, and the remaining longitudinals will be in the DB along with your girders in the DB. So now we'll come to the features here. So if you see this photograph here, this is typically a stall tanker which has got all orange color painting, all painting, the accommodation, everything is orange. All your lines, everything is orange. So if you see the transverses here, these are the transverses on deck. These are the longitudinals on deck. The girders will also be there on deck. Can't see the girders here. So these are your longitudinal, this is your transverses on deck. And the distance between transverses will be around 3.5 to 4 meters apart here. These are the transverses here. So moving around on chemical tanker is very difficult, so you have to walk on the catwalk only. VLCC, very easy to walk, you can cycle along, it's open. But here, walking on deck is very difficult. Now the tank of a chemical tanker here, if you see, this is all your steam lines, which is of stainless steel. And these U clamps are to prevent your vibrations here. Otherwise, too much of vibrations will break the pipelines. The tank coating here is phenolic. If you see, this is a phenolic coating because you can see the shine. In a epoxy coating, the shine cannot be seen. Not phenolic, polyurethane coating. Phenolic coatings are nowadays not used. So this is polyurethane coating. Because the polyurethane can counter your effects of chemicals, that is acid and base. Your phenolic and epoxy coatings can absorb previous cargoes and contaminate your cargoes. That's why either you have stainless steel tanks or polyurethane tanks. Stainless steel and polyurethane both are very costly.
सर ये इसका हाइट कितना होता है बॉटम से, टैंक बॉटम से स्टीम लाइन का?
लाइन का स्पेसिफाइड ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसी स्पेसिफिकेशन तो आपको 16 में देखने पड़ेंगे, ऐसे स्पेसिफिकेशन वो ओरल में पूछ सकते हैं, वो आप देख लो। बट आई हैव टू सी इन दैट कि भाई कई बार ओरल में पूछते हैं कि आपका सक्शन पाइप जो है वो कितना ऊपर होता है, बेल माउथ कितना ऊपर होता है, दैट डिटेल्स यू हैव टू गो इनटू द 16 दैट। वो स्पेसिफिकेशन ऐसे मिलेंगे नहीं, 16 में आपको ढूंढना पड़ेगा, ओरल के क्वेश्चंस हैं वो सारे। तो इसका हाइट ऐसा स्पेसिफाइड नहीं है, क्लास स्पेसिफाई करता है हाइट, and accordingly these structures are there so that your U clamps are fitted. इसमें आपका हाथ पास हो जाता है इसके नीचे से। Why this is high, I'll tell you. It is not stuck to the bottom. Reason being, when you squeeze the tanks, suppose आपने palm oil load किया, high density cargoes like palm oil, not high density cargoes, highly viscous cargoes like palm oil or vegetable oil, you will require squeezing of the cargoes. So people have to go down in the tank with SCBAs and all. पहले तो हम बगैर SCBA के जाते थे, अब तो SCBA चाहिए होता है. And then you have lot of trim, and then you squeeze the cargo. जैसे आपका एक रबड़ के वो फिटिंग जैसे बाथरूम में होते हैं ना, स्क्वीजर्स यूज करते हैं पानी को ड्रेन करने के लिए, उसी तरह के स्क्वीजर्स दे यूज टू पुश द कार्गो टुवर्ड्स द बेल माउथ. अगर फ्रामो पंप है तो फ्रामो पंप की तरफ पुश करते हैं, बिकॉज अदरवाइज दे विल स्टिक टू द बॉटम. तो क्लियरेंस होनी चाहिए फॉर द कार्गो टू पास अंडरनीथ, इट शुड नॉट स्टिक देयर. तो उतनी डिस्टेंस होना चाहिए, दैट स्पेसिफिकेशन यू हैव टू सी इन सोलर्स. आई डोंट आई हैव नॉट स्टडीड अबाउट दैट डिस्टेंस, वो आपके ओरल का क्वेश्चन है. दूसरा इसमें अगर आप जॉइंट्स देखो, कई बार ओरल में पूछे हाउ द जॉइंट्स आर देयर ऑफ द स्टीम कॉइल्स. किसको पता है व्हाट काइंड ऑफ, कैन यू सी द जॉइंट्स हियर? दिस इज अ जॉइंट, but what are these joints known as? Okay, I'll just show you, make a diagram and show you what is that type. Normally we teach in chemical tankers, केमको कोर्स में पढ़ाते हैं ये, बट उसमें भी वो स्टीम कॉइल का हाइट क्या है वो सब नहीं पढ़ाते. So suppose this is a one steam line, then another steam line goes inside it, and फिर इसको स्लीव जॉइंटिंग कहते हैं. सो इसको एक्सपैंड कर देते हैं इस सेक्शन को, एंड दिस एंटर्स देयर, एंड देन फिर उसको छोड़ देते हैं, ठंडा कर देते हैं, एंड देन यहाँ हल्का वेल्ड कर देते हैं. सो इट इज, you don't have a regular welding, but this is sleeve jointing so that it can take the pressure. That means if they expand this area, then pipe is stuck inside, and फिर यहाँ weld कर देते हैं. So that is sleeve jointed, which is done for the pipelines to be seamless. Seamless means looks like a one pipeline. It will not look like any welding done there. यहाँ अगर आप देखो, you can't see any welding. एक मिनट आपको enlarge करके दिखाता हूँ. ये देखो, ये है sleeve jointed. इधर में आपको कोई welding नहीं दिखेगी. This is inserted inside and sleeve jointed here. Now these are the fittings inside your chemical tankers. You have this drop line, then you have the steam coils here. तो अब आप देखो, दो इनलेट बने और दो आउटलेट बने. ऐसा क्यों है? What is the reason why two inlets and two outlets are there of streamlet? Why not one inlet and one outlet? केमिकल टैंकर वाले बंदे भी तो होंगे यहाँ.
सर अगर लीक कर जाए कुछ रहे तो बैकअप रहेगा.
हाँ, सही बात. अगर लीक कर गया तो फिर आपको उसको ब्लैंक करना पड़ेगा, और अगर आपने स्टीम लाइन ब्लैंक कर दी तो फिर कार्गो जम जाएगा, और उसके बाद उसको डिस्चार्ज ही नहीं कर सकते. जैसे अगर कॉस्टिक सोडा जम गया तो फिर आप ड्राई डॉक ही जाओगे और काम नहीं कर सकते, काटना पड़ेगा, उसको बाहर से हीट भी नहीं कर सकते. तो इसलिए इन केस योर वन स्टीम कॉइल फेल्स, then you will have the other steam coil. Certain ships you have recirculating and overhead heaters there. So now इसमें तो internal, अभी ये PPT में मैंने नहीं दिखाया, but in chemical tanker we teach you have other type is overhead heaters. So those heaters are like large furnaces type का रखा होता है structure on deck. उसके अंदर coil होते हैं, and then we recirculate that whatever the cargo inside that, and then drop it back to the tank. तो अगर आपका कॉइल खराब भी हो गया तो डेक में आप मेंटेनेंस कर सकते हो, इसमें करना बड़ा मुश्किल है और उसमें कार्गो जल्दी गर्म भी हो जाएगा, इसमें थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। सो इसमें अगर गर्म करना है, बेटर इज टू recirculate in the tank. तो वी क्लोज दिस वाल्व, इसको फ्राइमो पंप को स्लो आरपीएम में चालू करते हैं और इससे ड्रॉप लाइन ड्रॉप डाल देते हैं एंड कन्वेक्शन फास्ट हो जाता है, सो द हीटिंग इज much better and even heating. Here temperature sensors are there in 3 levels, top, middle and bottom. You have radar ullages on top on the deck, so it can know your ullages directly from top. Radar gauge है. This is ये ऊपर है टैंक टॉप के ऊपर, not the tank top, deck level पे होता है टैंक क्लीनिंग openings here with the manholes for lowering your tank cleaning machines manually. उसको बटरवर्थ मशीन कहते हैं, उसको डाल के वी डू 3 ड्रॉप्स फॉर टैंक क्लीनिंग। यहाँ आपका पीवी वाल्व है एंड every tank in chemical tanker is supposed to have 2 systems. Chemical tanker के any tanker is supposed to have 2 systems. तो एक तो प्रेशर, एक तो हो जाएगा पीवी वाल्व और मास राइजर, या तो ये हो जाएगा, या होगा हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट एंड पीवी वाल्व। और कई बार आता है हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट एंड पीवी वाल्व आर ऑन द सेम लाइन। हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट in chemical tankers height is 3 meters. Other tankers it is 2 meters. Here it is 3 meters. High velocity vent के बारे में पता है किसी को? What is high velocity vent? नहीं मालूम।
पीवी वाल ही होता है ना वो तो?
नहीं, पीवी वाल अलग है, हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट अलग है। देखो पीवी वाल क्या है, वो तो प्रेशर रिलीज होगा तो वहां आसपास फैल जाएगा, ठीक है। हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट क्या होता है, नॉर्मली मास राइजर पे पी वाल होता है, वो 6 मीटर हाइट पे कम से कम होता है, तो आपकी गैसेस 6 मीटर के ऊपर जाएंगी, 6 मीटर के नीचे नहीं जाएंगी। हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट का काम है कि जब रिलीज होगा, जैसे हमारे प्रेशर कुकर की सीटी रिलीज होती है, उस वेलोसिटी से रिलीज होगा कि दैट एस्केप वेलोसिटी ऑफ द गैसेस विल बी 30 मीटर पर सेकेंड। ठीक है, जो एस्केप वेलोसिटी होगी दैट इज स्पेसिफाइड एज मिनिमम 30 मीटर पर सेकेंड, सो दैट द गैस इज रिलीज्ड अबव 6 मीटर हाइट। सो दैट इज योर हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट्स। तो या तो 2 सिस्टम होंगे, या तो प्रेशर सेंसर होगा, प्रेशर सेंसर में हाई प्रेशर आ रहा है तो आपका अलार्म बज जाएगा और आपने पी वाल्व खोल दिया मैनुअली। तो या तो प्रेशर सेंसर एंड हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट होगा, प्रेशर सेंसर एंड पी मास्टराइजर होगा, प्रेशर सेंसर एंड पी वाल्व होगा, या हाई वेलोसिटी वेंट एंड पी वाल्व होगा। तो 2 सिस्टम्स विल बी देयर, वन बैकअप एंड वन। अच्छा, इसमें पीवी ब्रेकर होता है कि नहीं होता केमिकल टैंकर? फेज 2 वालों बेटा, सेकंड मेट नहीं हो, यह नॉलेज होनी चाहिए इतनी। नहीं होता है, अब क्यों नहीं होता है वो भी नहीं पता होगा, चलो वो भी बता देते हैं। पीवी ब्रेकर क्या करता है, इट इज लाइक अ प्रेशर रिलीफ वाल्व है। अगर आपकी प्रेशर सेटिंग्स जैसे नॉर्मली पीवी वाल्व की सेटिंग 1600 एंड 300 और 350 होती है, उससे ऊपर सेटिंग होती है पीवी ब्रेकर की। तो पीवी ब्रेकर सपोज आपने 1600 सेटिंग की तो वो 1700 पे उठ जाएगा, और उठ जाएगा मतलब उसमें वाटर जो होता है टैंकर्स में, वो आपका लिक्विड होता है, इथाइलिन ग्लाइकोल डालते हैं, वो सारा निकल जाता है, देन यू हैव टू रिफिल इट अगेन। तो ये नहीं कि सेट वापस हो जाएगा लाइक पीवी वाल्व। पीवी ब्रेकर अगर वो रिलीज हो गया उसमें वापस लिक्विड भरना पड़ता है। बट वो कॉमन होता है एंटायर शिप में, टैंकर में ओनली वन पीवी ब्रेकर इज देयर। पीवी वाला हर एक टैंक पे होंगे या हर एक लाइन में होंगे, लेकिन पीवी जो ब्रेकर है ओनली एक जगह होगा, बिकॉज योर कार्गो इज होमोजीनियस, सो इंटरमिक्सिंग ऑफ कार्गो की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। But in chemical tankers, you have 4,500 grades of cargo, 5,000 grades of cargo. So any cargo might not be compatible with any other cargo. So in case you have a PV breaker, the contamination can be affected on the chemical tanker. So इसलिए उसकी gases को अलग-अलग रखते हैं. So every tank will have a separate set of PV valves. Common line में नहीं होगा. Every tank will have Framo pump. Every tank will have a separate line. सब अलग होगा. Nothing combined. Now instrumentation, here you have your radar gauge यहाँ, फिर आपका sensors, high level alarm, 95% का alarm होगा, low level alarm होगा, pressure alarms होंगे, वो सारा इसमें systems होगा. And that will be connected to the CCR and all. So chemical tanker is a type of tanker designed to transport chemicals in bulk as per Annex 2. And here you will have underwater discharge. Tankers में discharge was over the water. In chemical tankers, you will have underwater discharge. So the cargoes will be carried as per chapter 17 and chapter 18. क्योंकि chapter 18 में other Z categories and OSP आते हैं. So IBC code को follow करना चाहिए. You have certain highly sensitive cargoes like vegetable oils and palm, methanol and all. They require special high grade standards of cleaning. So here you can have palm oil, vegetable oil, tallow. Tallow is animal fat. Caustic soda lye basically is caustic soda in liquid form. Styrene monomer, this is polymerizing cargo which requires a padding of nitrogen. And methanol. Methanol is used for a lot of medicines, pharmaceutical use. So ocean going chemical tankers range from 5,000 to 35,000, which is smaller than average tankers, and these are parcel carriers which can carry various parcels in various tanks. So subdivision is quite large in this. You might have as much as 40 tanks. 40-45 tanks भी हो सकते हैं. 40 टैंक होंगे, इसका मतलब 40 Framo pumps will be there. Every tank will have separate manifold, port starboard. Every tank will have 2 PV valves. तो इतने number of attachments होंगे आपके जहाज पे. Now chemical tankers have specialized coating. You can have organic paints or inorganic paints or stainless steel tanks, or you can have rubber coated tanks like for phosphoric acid carriers. So stainless steel tanks, if you just load directly sulfuric acid, strong sulfuric acid, they can cause a lot of pitting. So इसलिए we have passivation of stainless steel tanks required. So there you do tank cleaning for half an hour by dilute nitric acid and hydrogen iodide, so that the chromium layer is on the stainless steel, and then you let it be there for 24 hours and then you do the actual washing. So your अब इसमें नहीं है वो सब मैं बोल रहा हूँ. आपका जो organic paints are phenolic, your epoxy and polyurethane. Then you have inorganic paints like zinc paints and magnesium silicate, zinc silicate paints. So in zinc silicate and magnesium silicate paints में you cannot wash with salt water, otherwise coating निकल जाएगा. अब इतना ज़्यादा मैं डिटेल नहीं कराऊंगा, बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है फिर आपके लिए, लेकिन आपके स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चंस आई कैन आंसर जब भी आप पूछते हो. So typically stainless steel में you can carry a lot of cargoes because cleaning is much more. और आपको बताया था स्टेनलेस स्टील टैंक्स में क्लैडिंग होती है, ये आपको बताया था मैंने. तो इसमें क्लैडिंग की जाती है. सिमिलरली फॉस्फोरिक एसिड कैरियर में रबर कोटिंग में क्लैडिंग होगी, बट उसमें ग्लू होगी, इसमें एक्सप्लोजिव्स यूज करेंगे. अब basis your categories you have three types: type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 में these are creating a serious environmental problem, so they can leak. तो इसका डिस्टेंस स्पेसिफिकेशन अभी अलग से कराऊंगा, वो एग्जाम में आ चुका है तो वो अलग से कराऊंगा. देन यू हैव टाइप 2, जिसमें 76 मिलीमीटर्स सेंटीमीटर्स का डबल एल होगा कम से कम, एंड डीबी टैंक होंगे. एंड टाइप 3 जो होगा उसमें the cargoes are not hazardous to the environment, so they will not have any double hull or double bottom. So these are type 3 chemical tankers. Now chemical tankers have got heating system, जिसलिए because your viscosity has to be maintained. अगर temperature कम हो गया तो cargoes can coagulate. So your passing of steam through stainless steel heating coils is there, and then you have convection circulation of cargo. Then you have Framo pumps in each tank, and certain cargoes if you carry like bitumen, then heating coil mein instead of steam you'll have oil which is circulated. Heated oil is circulated. In steam pipes you have pressure of the steam to be maintained, but when you have bitumen carriers and all where you have to heat those cargoes, you can't use steam because it will contaminate that cargo. So we use oil in the heating coil. So इसीलिए you carry so many parcels of you can this can be known as a parcel carrier also. Now the construction part, chemical tankers can be compositely framed or can be longitudinally framed depending on length, and transfers are not passing through tank but are placed on deck to support the longitudinals, and this is to avoid your interfering structures to not carry the previous cargoes because it'll contaminate your next cargoes. So the need for having flush surfaces for better tank cleaning is required with fixed tank cleaning machines or portable machines for cargoes which is sensitive. Now your cargo tanks will normally have nitrogen blanket. So we use nitrogen as IG and not inert gas generators there, but nitrogen generators on board or portable nitrogen tanks on board, because IG might have a lot of 10% of moisture which can contaminate your cargoes. That's why we use nitrogen here. Now for your cargo tanks foam, the foam system here is alcohol resistant foam. ये phase 1 में पढ़ाया था क्यों होती है ये. I have already taught you in phase 1 why alcohol resistant foam is there in chemical tankers. Now some chemical tankers don't have pump room because pump room acts like a cofferdam, and you have Framo pumps in each tank, and if your Framo pumps is out of order, you have portable hydraulic pumps there. So with this dedicated piping system, you can carry a lot of cargoes without contamination, and tank cleaning is better, and you can maintain your compatibility of various cargoes. Now your risk of cargo leakage is there, so your joints except those of valves have got expansion joints, and they have supposed to have underwater discharge to meet the NX2 requirements. So pumps, ballast line, vent lines and other similar serving permanent ballast tanks have to be independent of similar equipment serving cargo tanks and cargo tanks themselves. So discharge arrangement shall of the permanent ballast sited immediately adjacent to cargo tank shall be outside machinery space and accommodation spaces. Filling arrangements may be in machinery spaces provided such arrangement ensure filling from tank, and so this is your ballasting arrangement that will be as per your ballast water management. Bilge pumping arrangements for cargo pump rooms, void spaces, slop tanks, double bottom tanks and similar spaces may be situated entirely within cargo area except for void spaces, DB, ballast tanks such spaces will be separated by double bulkhead. So you have more cofferdams as compared to normal tanker. Second thing is your slop tanks can have the cargo, because here the mandatory requirements of slop tank to be empty is not required. That is requirement for oil discharge monitoring system, which is not required if you are loading only chemicals. Oil chem, of course, you require slop tank empty when you're loading oil cargoes. Chemical cargoes, you don't require slop tanks to be empty. I'll just do the further details of your chemical tankers. कुछ नोट्स कर दें
Sir,
तो वो
question.
आपके एग्जाम में आया हुआ है.
Sir, one question.
टाइप आप पूछो पूछो.
सर ये जो केमिकल टैंकर्स में सारे जो अपने ट्रांसफर्स एंड लॉन्जिट्यूडल्स ऑन द डेक ओनली, तो सर ये सेम एज इफेक्टिव जो अंदर होते हैं? तो
नहीं, क्या पूछा? सेम हैज क्या
सर इफेक्टिवनेस वही रहता है क्या सर, जैसे कि जो अभी बल्क कैरियर्स में?
वही है, क्योंकि लॉन्जिट्यूडनल स्ट्रेंथ तो देगा ना, कंटिन्यूटी तो है ना, इट इज कंटिन्यूअस, तो वो इफेक्टिव है, इट इज इफेक्टिव. द स्ट्रेंथ इज मेंटेन, चाहे वो टैंक के अंदर हो या टैंक के बाहर हो, स्ट्रेंथ इज मेंटेन. स्ट्रेंथ में कोई ऊंच नीच नहीं होगा.
ओके सर.
और कोई क्वेश्चन है पूछ लो, तब तक मैं वो ढूंढ रहा हूँ कहाँ है नोट्स उसके केमिकल टैंकर के. और किसी क्वेश्चन केमिकल टैंकर में? एक क्लास रिक्वायरमेंट केमिकल टैंकर्स भी है, लेकिन अब इतना डिटेल कराना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा आपको. क्या क्लास रिक्वायरमेंट्स है डिटेल में करते हैं, बाद में जब टाइम मिलेगा तो करेंगे, लेकिन आपको टाइम मिलता ही नहीं है, कुछ ना कुछ चालू रहता ही है. फिर कहाँ गया मिडशिप सेक्शन केमिकल टैंकर, नोट कहाँ रखे हैं यार? पीपीटी में ही है, आई थिंक पीपीटी के अंदर ही नोट्स हैं. हाँ, यहाँ है. ओके, आयबो टाइप शिप्स आ जाते. केमिकल टैंकर में आपकी पगार भी ज्यादा है, आपको पता है ना. योर वेजेस आर क्वाइट हाई एज कंपेयर टू नॉर्मल टैंकर्स, लेकिन फिर उसका काम भी बढ़ जाता है. चीफ ऑफिसर का काम बहुत बढ़ जाता है. अभी मैं पढ़ाऊंगा ये सारे टाइप्स, ये आपके एग्जाम में आया हुआ है, तो आई जस्ट टीच यू ऑल दिस. सो द IMO टाइप जो है, टाइप 1, टाइप 2, टाइप 3 इज बेसिकली फॉर पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल. सो द वेरियस एस्पेक्ट्स आर इन पार्ट बी ऑफ सोलस चैप्टर 8. तो सेफ्टी फैक्टर सारे इसमें दिए हैं, तो दैट यू कैन स्टडी इन डिटेल. चैप्टर 8 उसमें आपको सारे डिटेल मिल जाएंगे. So your chemicals like your high standard cleaning required for palm oil, vegetable oil, tallow, caustic soda, methanol. Now this is your coding for your IPC code. जैसे यहाँ दिया हुआ है कौन सा कैटेगरी कार्गो XYZ है, इसमें आपका वेरियस कोड्स इसमें दिया है, ग्रेविटी टाइप का ओपन है कि नहीं है. अब वो IBC कोड खोल के सारे कोडिंग पता लग जाती है क्या क्या टाइप. ये इलेक्ट्रिकल वायरिंग है, इसमें P, और ये मैं भूल गया P क्या है. कोड का ऊपर देख के ही पता लगता है क्या क्या है. ये ग्रेविटी टाइप है एंड ऑल. तो यू गॉट वेरियस केमिकल्स हियर. वो IBC कोड खोल के यू विल नोट द कोडिंग हियर. Now the type 1 जो है, that is intended to transport most dangerous products, which is normally X. You got four categories: X, Y, Z, and other substances. X is the most dangerous here, which will require a lot of restrictions for pollution control. Y is medium type, Z is little less type. OS में तो कोई restriction ही नहीं है. OS में जैसे tallow है, not tallow, molasses है, molasses मतलब गुड़. Then आपका हो गया ग्लूकोज वाटर, एप्पल जूस, इन सब में नो टाइप 3 टाइप ऑफ वेसल वेयर यू डोंट रिक्वायर डबल हल और डबल बॉटम. सो टाइप 1 में मैक्सिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स होने चाहिए फॉर पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल एंड मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस शुड बी फ्रॉम द शेल प्लेटिंग. टाइप 2 में यू हैव कैटेगरी वाई टाइप. सो कैटेगरी वाई टाइप जो है वो बेसिकली हाईली विस्कस वाले हैं. उनकी स्पेसिफिकेशन भी अभी आपको बताऊंगा एंड में क्या क्या टाइप है. जेड टाइप में इतना स्ट्रिंजेंट मेजर नहीं है, सो दैट इज 2 और 3. सो आईबीसी कोड has got 14 chapters and chapter 15 will have special requirements, chapter 16 will have responsibility, chapter 17 will be chemicals considered to be suitable for transportation. Now type 3 जो है chemical tankers without double hull will no longer be required to carry vegetable oils because vegetable oil is coming under category Y. Type 3 vessels will be allowed to carry vegetable oils provided they have double bottoms and satisfy the operational double side criteria, because any ship more than 5,000 tons require double hull. Now the tank capacity limitations of various types are: type 1 में quantity cargo to be carried in any tank will be less than 1250 meter cubes. In type 2 will be less than 3000 meter cubes. In type 3 there is no filling requirements. अब आता है टैंक लोकेशन. ये कई बार आपके एग्जाम में आ चुका है. So cargo tank shall be located at the following distance mean of double bottom height to the baseline or molded line above the bottom plating. So the requirements here, you have to make the diagrams also there. B by 5 or this double L will be for type 1, B by 5 or 11.5, whichever is less. And at any corners here, it should not be less than 76 centimeters. Here, the roundings. But this should be B by 5, double bottom will be B by 15. So suppose your breadth of the vessel is 30 meters, then the DB tank should be minimum 2 meters. And double hull will be minimum 6 meters. So 6 meters or 11.5, whichever is less, then will be considered B by 5 will be 6. In type 2, the double hull will be at least 76 centimeter. At the corners also, rounding will also be 76 centimeters. The double bottom will be B by 15. While in type 3, you don't have double hull and double bottom requirements. तो यही दिया B by 5 and 11.5 और ये सारा दिया हुआ है. So base of the pollution substance, your categories will be X, Y, Z and NX 2 के criteria फिर आप देख लो. ये सब पढ़ाया हुआ है आपका NX 2. कैटेगरी X में प्री वॉश होना चाहिए. अब लेटेस्ट वाले पे आते हैं, पहले का छोड़ देते हैं. लेटेस्ट वाले में आफ्टर 2007 you require a pre-wash for all category X cargoes. Stripping to 75 liters. Distance should be minimum 12 miles when you're discharging. Tank cleaning. Underwater depth should be minimum 25 meters, 7 knots. You should proceed en route. If you're being towed, it will be 4 knots. इसको छोड़ देते हैं, सिर्फ यही कराते हैं. Y categories, pre-wash only for solidifying and highly viscous substances. Stripping to 75 liters per tank, including pipelines. Distance from the land should be minimum 12 nautical miles, depth 25 meters, 7 knot speed, minimum doing tank cleaning, and route when it's stored 4 knots. Z ka strip to 75 liters, no pre-wash required. Distance 12 nautical miles, 25-meter depth, 7 knots en route, 4 knots when being towed. Other substances, no carriage requirements. Underwater discharge required for X, Y, and Z. Right, तो ये सारा आपका था. NX2 भी आपका रिवाइज करा दिया. And here is your underwater discharge ये बनाया हुआ. So your underwater discharge will be from here. ये tanks बनाए हुए हैं. So your underwater discharge pipe will be here so that the cargoes can mix with the sea. Because it will not be dispersed, it will not float on top. It will be dispersed into the sea. केमिकल टैंकर में इसलिए ज़्यादा टाइम लिया क्योंकि केमिकल टैंकर के क्वेश्चंस बहुत आते हैं. ठीक है, so we'll take a break now. Next class, next week, then we'll be starting with the other vessels. That is tankers we'll start with. Okay, then we'll have a break now.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ਹਾਂ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਚੜਾਤਾ ਪਾਪੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੇ